We just answered this one. Jaylene, what is the process like working with Derek? I mean,
yeah,
that
I
was
just
the
answered
exact
that.
thing we just answered.
He's fun. He's
So-
cool.
Oh, thank you. I think you're fun too.
Thanks. I try to be. Sometimes I don't know. Some days it can get long being the vocalist because we do a lot of some sorrows. It didn't take many retakes. On some of the other ones, you know, I had to make sure my voice was in shape and ready to go. If you're a singer, you'll understand. Do you have a city or venue you would most love to play? Well, Coachella would be bomb as hell. I've never been to Coachella, but I've heard it's pretty badass. But you know, mostly big festivals would be cool. Festivals is where you can also meet a lot of other artists backstage. It's a good networking experience.
And the festival scene is also just it makes me think of like Bonnaroo and, back
Yeah.
when Woodstock started, it was a whole community coming together for the music. And they were not there for, necessarily a specific artist. They were just there
there
because
to
they
have
love
fun.
music and they want to explore all the different artists. I agree with you on that.
Have you ever been to Coachella?
I have not.
Oh.
Have not.
I
Nope.
can only imagine.
No.
I've heard some
I'd love to
stories.
I've got stories.
I got stories from people.
Oh, I feel like we've answered all these, but it's cool. We can elaborate. What is a typical day like in a recording session? Well, I can start off with that.
Okay.
I try to make sure that the artist is chill, like before we start, because
Yeah.
I've been on sets and stuff where it's just there's a lot of
Tension.
and so what I'll do is like when the artist gets there, I want to make sure we just hang out for a little bit, just have coffee, just chill, talk about the day. We don't even have to talk about music or anything, just something just to kind of just relax you, just hang out. We're not in a rush to get started, and and then from there I just I take the process as it needs to go.
Yeah.
It's not we have to do this here, we have to do this here, in which sometimes it's good to be on a specific schedule or have a whole rundown, but I don't really work that way. Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier when you're just, go with the flow.
What about,
on it.
okay, I got one to elaborate. What was the process like working on the music video for Sorrows? So we didn't.
Oh,
There we
okay.
go.
So,
How'd that go?
I worked with Stephen Wells production, and the morning was, it was crazy busy. I woke up at 5. I had been lacking sleep. I hadn't slept for 48 hours, okay, just because of life stuff and school and all that.
Welcome to the entertainment
So I
industry.
was running on 0 sleep, and I got there ready. My makeup was already done. I got my hair done, and we get to the studio, and luckily everything was set up. So we start rolling takes, and I kid you not, it was so cold that day. It was so cold, and I was in just a bralette and underwear, and oh my gosh. You'll see in the music video, there's a part where you see my hand shaking. I was literally not faking that. I was so cold. But that was the fun process of it all, because when you watch the video, you'll have no idea until that part. But besides it being so cold, it was probably the best experience of my life, because I had never done an actual music video before. So we had, Stefan and his camera in there. I had Morgan Cedar, my good friend, helping me. And we had paint dripping so we had someone standing on a ladder, and we had paint pouring off of me. It was a messy, fun time. I would totally do a music video again. And Stefan, he was so quick on it. We got it done in like 3 hours, and that's including setup time. In the studio, we rented with Studio 1087. It's a great place outside of Nashville. It was fabulous, and I think everybody's gonna enjoy it. There's a lot of things in there that reference certain meanings, like handcuffs. I have handcuffs in the music video. And again, I don't want to give everything away because I want people to have their own opinion on it. But when I had thought of the handcuff idea, I had thought of it being chained to my own sorrows. kind of like you're handcuffed to yourself. But, you know, it could be meaning other things as well. It's just kind of whatever y'all want to interpret it to be. But like the black paint, I already said what that described. Just like, you know, the creativity of it all. That's what I go after. If it's weird and creative, then, you know, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. So that's the music video.
Yeah.
Right, is it my turn?
I think so.
How does Nashville affect your environment with the competition? Ooh.
I don't like to call it competition.
I don't either. I'm not.
I like the word community a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think everybody here is doing their own thing. I mean, I don't think it's, I mean, yeah, there's a competitive nature, as in I think that the quality of your work needs to be up there, but everybody's style is different, and it's just kind of I think it's a melting pot of all different styles. And yeah, I don't like the word competition, because I think that we're all in this together.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
High School Musical.
Whoa, is that a quote? I've never
Or
seen that
all
movie.
in this
I've never seen that
together.
movie.
Oh, well,
All
maybe
right.
you're too old to get out of here.
Really?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So
I think I was in high school when that came out.
I was like in junior high, middle school. I was a youngin.
Yeah.
I agree with Derek though. When I moved here to Nashville, a lot of people were willing to help out, and people were constantly like, "Oh, you need help with this," like, you know. I felt like they were more apt to give advice than what I was expecting. I came in here expecting that no one's gonna help you, no one's gonna reach out a hand,
Yeah.
you're on your own, good luck. It's actually not that way.
Yeah.
At least not here. And if I consider competition, I think the only person I'm really competitive with is myself. In the end, if there's one person I want to outbeat, it's this person right here.
Yeah. And then the other thing I think that's cool about Nashville is that it's not competition. I think it's other people help you push yourself to be better.
It's definitely a lot of motivation. You
Yeah.
see people working hard all the time, and you're like, oh, they're working hard. I need to be working hard too. But it's
Right.
not like a jealousy. It's like a.
Well, I think for
It's a
every
push.
day that I mean, in my mindset, it's if I'm sleeping in, there's somebody today that got up and got to work. And I think that pushes you, because like if I go back home to my hometown, you know, there's not a lot of music production going on, I'm not as motivated, because I'm like, there's just that energy, I think, in this town of that, you know, that it's just that busy environment.
If you like sleep, don't move here.
Yeah.
Or don't be in the entertainment industry if you like sleep, because
That's true.
Derek and I both have pulled about, we've probably done more than me, because he works on production sets. Like he's working on E right now. E Network.
I've slept like 11 hours in the last 3 days, but it's cool.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
That's
Ready
the
to
thing,
rock.
yeah, you get to love it, and you have to not like sleep. Or energy drinks, either of the two. I don't like sleep and I like energy drinks, so I survive.
Buzzing out. That's cool. Are we on to the next one?
Yes.
All right, this one's for you. Which I think you may have touched on this one a little bit, but Jaylene, how do you think you've grown and are growing as a songwriter?
Yeah, like I said before, I moved here and I thought I had to portray more of a country Southern belle, and nothing wrong with that. I think people who can pull that off do it greatly, but that just wasn't my style, and I kind of realized that the songs I was writing and my edginess, I guess you could say, it just didn't. After a while, I realized I was not gonna fake it anymore, you know? Not that I was necessarily faking it, I just grew out of it.
You're
And-
more doing what is you.
Yeah,
not what they
I'm more
want.
being myself. And let me tell you, it's a lot more fun when you get to be yourself about it. You enjoy it a lot more.
Cool.
Less-
I concur.
Less pressure.
We got a blue one here. Is that the bonus question?
Oh, this is for Derek. What are your favorite instruments or sounds to work with?
Yeah, I definitely covered on that a little bit, especially with Jaylene's song. Now with my production as Northern Lights, I've kind of found this sound that all different types of synths I love adding delays to those synths, and especially guitars, a lot of those delays. So I have different influences like U2 or Daft Punk is also a big influence.
yeah.
So I added a little bit of that, I think, into your work. And so I grew up playing guitar and lead guitar, and I still love it, but synthesizers have really been my new forte because I can design something new every single time, and I love creating different bass lines and different chimes or different. I also really love doing sampling, like taking your vocal and doing a sample, and you'll hear some of that in Sorrows. Actually, there's a breakdown to the song. I don't want to give it away, but I was able to take some of your original verse vocals and actually create them into their own sort of instrument, and they create their own beat, and I have a lot of fun doing that.
It was badass. It turned out when he played it after he had finished everything. What's weird is I didn't envision it like that at first. I was like,
oh, I was afraid to play it.
He was really afraid. He's like, if you don't like it, like we can just restart and like don't be offended. And I was like, just fucking play it. Sorry. And he played it,
Cool,
and
man.
I was just blown away. I was like, that's not what I was expecting, but I love it a lot more than what I had envisioned it in my head.
Cool.
And then so
Glad.
we just started rolling with it. It's amazing, like the creativity. Wait, is it my turn?
Jaylene also plays guitar too. Don't forget about that, because you played at Commodore a few months ago. I thought you did great, man. It's cool.
I'm taking guitar lessons from Shane Lamb in Green Hills. Highly recommend him. So if you want a good guitar teacher, go to Shane Lamb. Well, actually, he's not in Green Hills. He moved. He just has a brand new studio, but he's awesome. But I'm still improving. I can play both piano and guitar. Preferably guitar is a lot easier for traveling. My phone's about to die, but we have one last question, so I'll hurry this up. Jaylene, who are your biggest influences in music? Definitely Lady Gaga and Demi Lovato. Mix the two together, that's music to me. I just love Lady Gaga's business ethic. She's very smart with the way she has set up her career. Demi Lovato, I like how she doesn't give two shits about what people think in her music. And that's powerful. Like any powerful women in the industry, those are my influences. Halsey's another one. Halsey's pretty great too. But yeah, those are my influences. So do you have anything else to add?
I'm trying to think if I can put you in the hot seat here.
Oh God, oh no. I'm so bad under pressure with questions.
I'm not good at asking questions, so you're good.
Mm.
Release date. What
So,
about everything coming out?
so this Saturday, if CD Baby has its game on, it should be done Saturday, or on Spotify Saturday. Music video, I believe we'll hopefully have it done Saturday. So mostly everything will be done Saturday. Now with the 5-song EP, like the rest of the Sorrows EP, I don't have an exact release date for that. I'm thinking maybe just for shits and giggles, releasing it on Valentine's Day. But we'll see about that. See
Cool.
if I have my shit together by then.
Awesome. When the video comes out, where can people look?
So it's definitely gonna be on YouTube. I'm gonna share the link on that in my bio, and on Facebook, Instagram, maybe Twitter. Sometimes Twitter and I don't get along well when I post videos because it ruins the quality of it. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's gonna be there. Of course, it's gonna be on Spotify, iTunes, all that fun stuff, you name it. But yeah, I highly recommend you watch the music video with the song, because I think it's gonna give you more of a thrill and more of a visionary of the song than just listening to it on Spotify. But please stream it on both. Like, be awesome and stream it on both.
Cool.
Yeah, you gotta